Buenas noches, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well, blessed, and enjoying family. As always, muchas gracias to everyone for everyone's words, wishes, prayers, and the love and support everyone extends and sends my way. From the heart, I appreciate every one of you. Also, before getting started, my apologies to everyone on the live today. It's my dumb head gets the best of me at times. It looks for solutions, and in my head, they're real clear and easy to get them done, right? But I push aside how things really happen, and regardless, those things should not be coming out. So, I disculpen everyone. Anyways, today I'm gonna try to take you on a funny trip, right? I don't know if I mentioned to you guys this. It was in Tehachapi. We were in the 180, and like I mentioned before, they snatched us up in the middle of the night, right? Because they dropped kites. Basically, everyone they thought that they were with me, they dropped a kite on, and we got removed. Some went straight to A block. I went to one block for a short while, and it's where I see my cousin Tito again, and things unfolded. I would end up in A block within a couple weeks or so, right? And in A block, the minute I got there, everybody knew that A block was going to be given to me by that senor in 7 block. And I didn't really I was an individual that if it was something important, put it in black and white and we'll discuss it later, right? Let's go out to yard, do our thing, you know, feel freedom, and the rest could get done inside the block, right? And the funny part was I had a celly, right? My celly was a good homie, Shadow from Garden Grove. He was from Afghanistan, and homie was solid all the way around, believe me. And he always had flares. Like in the cell, I start seeing him hit the wall, and I would get up and tell him, "Fool, what's on your mind?" And there was always this individual, Sporty, right, from Playboy. Sporty was from Afghanistan too, so they felt a special pa- pact between them, right? Families would sometimes ride together, and you know how it be sometimes, right? But I guess there was a difference on how their families ended up in the States, right? Shadow's family's dad was a colonel for the Afghanis, and that's how he got an enmity to the States, right? So they had a harder belief in their beliefs, and then Sporties, right? Which again, it was incel talk. We didn't really. I never discussed this with Sporty. For one, I trusted my celly. There was no need for lies, and I guess in visiting they would encroach their spots, and one day I guess they didn't let one of Shadow's sisters go in with I don't know what you guys call them, the ones that cover up their head and some of their face, and Sporty seen her, I guess, and fool trying to be a clown, right? Started calling him brother-in-law and this, and Shadow took it for a long time, right? It was just one night though. It was late already, and I was writing a letter. I remember, and he told me like, "Hey, Chino, I need to talk to you. I need to put hands on Sporty tomorrow." I tell him, "Why's it gotta be tomorrow, homie? Let's do the cell move, you know? Nah, cause it's already been long enough, and this fool, just won't stop. I need to make it clear, just cause this and that, don't open the door for camaradas to clown with my family." And it's true, I heard Chad a couple times ask Sporty to stop, and Homewood just brushed it off as a joke. Being in A block, I knew I was gonna be moved to 7 block, and I thought I was doing the right thing, right? And I told him, "You're gonna handle your business tomorrow, but you're gonna do it right. You're gonna go up to Homeboy, you're gonna go to a corner of the yard, and you're both gonna go from the shoulders." Which in reality, there was no question Shadow was gonna put tips on him, right? And again, I thought I was doing the right thing, right? But resolving a problem without escalating to losing camaradas, one grudge or whatever, right? So the next morning came, we got a little warm up routine in the cell before they came to take us out. We went out to yard. I just told Shadow, let everyone come out, fool, and then you do what you think is right, right? And yeah, all the homies came out, and that fool said something dumb, right? Sporty and Shadow told him straight, "Hey, let me talk to you, fool." And he pulled him to the side, and whatever the discussion was, Shadow started putting knuckles on him, right? And it went on for a little bit, and the attribute was more famous of them being real happy with that blood gun, right? Than the real gun. So after a little bit, though, I just whistled to Shadow and told him, "Hey, ya estuvo." And we left it at that. The homie Sporty he got tipped up. He got put as the victim, right? And me personally, I didn't know at the time that there was a high placed camarada from Playboys in C section, right? In 7 block. So time came, they moved me back into 7 block, and Toro and Chino started questioning me about this. I told them straight up what was happening. Neither of them wanted to sell up. They wanted just to get it out the way, right? And Shadow was willing to let go of it, but Homeboy kept coming up pushing that one, right? The next option for me was to remove Homeboy from the program over something that is personal, right? So that was done right, and unfortunately, Chino didn't see it that way. Chino's like, hey, this fool went out to visiting. Visiting is sacred. Don't matter if they come from China together. You're to hold respect. The homie made it clear he didn't like it. He continued. So at that moment, your angle was to uphold the reglas of visiting. So it flipped on me, right? Should have had him whacked and removed. So I'm okay. I understand that completely. Now, what's done is done. But as you know, T's gonna be leaving in a couple of days, which he was gonna be going back up to the bay, right? And I need you here with me. Focus. I've heard a lot. You try to co-sign a lot for the camaradas. The program is as clear as water. You violated, you're gone. So I want you 100% with me. So think about that. And then he goes, but while you're thinking about it, next group yard, go to that corner. There's gonna be 3 people meeting you there, and hey, you're being one of the lucky ones because you're gonna see the changes, which I was right. I went out and I got regulated for it, for trying to, you could say, rescue 2 camaradas. At the same time, I missed sight of one of the number one reglas, right? There's no disrespect in visiting. It don't matter who you are. And, up into the Clecha I received from Chino, I could say I was always doing it. If I could, per se, not break a homie, but keep him in the program and push through, I would. And my impulsive, I'm real impulsive, everyone. It's like right now, if Wasabes wasn't a couple hours uphill walking, I would have been out there, believe me, either to resolve one way or another, right? My family would hate me, but, you know, you know, but I try to learn. I guess what I'm trying to say, life is a learning experience. We all could get up here and share our experience, our walk. Well, at least me personally, I attempt to share with you what I seen, gone through, and no hearsay, no BS. It was like this, that, and that. If I didn't firsthand seen it, you guys haven't heard from me. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, even me being in the mix, from one yard to the next yard, different pilis. If Toto was gonna stay, nothing would have happened to me at all. And nothing happened. We went out there, we went tips up. I received what it was mandated for me to receive for the mistake I did. Everything continued. I was still holding it for Chino, right? But what I'm trying to say is, like I always say, just pay attention. Every pili's a different pili. Every yard's a different yard. Don't matter what you do for one pili, on the street, through Amapil, through phone, through whatever, it ain't gonna mean squat to the next pili. Remember, the cause is made for a very few camaradas to make it through. And I'll tell you one thing, if you're like me and believe in carnalismo, a cause, it's gonna be a hard road. Anyways, this was a quick one. Please stay true to yourself and loyal to loved ones, everyone.